What is radon? Is radon in my home? Radon is a naturally occurring radioactive gas which is odorless, colorless, and tasteless, and it is the byproduct of the breakdown of uranium in the soil and rocks. So you say to yourself, really, who cares? What the heck does this have to do with me anyway? It's got a lot to do with you. Radon is the #1 cause of lung cancer among non-smokers. So where do you come in contact with radon that it may affect you and your health? In your home, your workplace, or school, wherever you spend the most time indoors. You can check with your state radon office about your workplace or school, but in your home, the only way you will know for sure if there is radon in your air is by testing. Testing is easy. There are low-cost, do-it-yourself radon test kits that you can purchase in your hometown hardware store or Lowe's. If you are buying a home, you should speak to your home inspector about the different types of tests they offer and request that they do the testing for you. The recommendation allowable amount of radon in your home is 4 picuries per liter of air. Nearly 1 out of every 15 homes in the U.S. is estimated to have elevated radon levels. And in Essex County, according to this map, we are in a zone with high levels of radon. So how does this odorless, tasteless, colorless gas get into your home? First, the gas comes up naturally from the soil, through the ground, and into the air. When you think about it, your home is right in the middle of the ground and the air. So it is vulnerable to accumulating radon. Radon can seep through cracks in solid floors, construction joints, cracks in the walls, gaps in the suspended floor, gaps around the service pipes, cavities inside the walls, or in your water supply. Radon entering your home through your water supply is a smaller risk than entering your home through the soil. The most risk from radon in water comes from the radon that's released into the air when you take a shower or use water for other household purposes. Typically, you may find radon in the water when you have a private well. So our suggestion to you is simply get it tested. Find out if there's radon in the water and then be on the safe side and do whatever the home inspector says is a good course of action. You may be curious as to how a radon test is performed. First, the home's windows and doors must remain closed as much as possible. If this first step is not followed, it may skew the results and not in the logical direction you may think, as I was told by a professional tester once. In my experience, I've seen 2 different types of testing systems. Both take 48 hours to measure the surrounding air. The first testing system is with a continuous monitor, which takes the average of the continuous monitoring calculation and provides immediate results. The second test kit is where 2 charcoal canisters are used to collect air samples. The canisters are picked up after the 48-hour period and mailed off to a lab. The home buyer or the owner, if you're doing it for yourself, will typically be able to get the results online in about a week or less. I have also seen 2 different theories on where these tests should be performed. One is to test in the lowest level of the home, regardless if it's a living space or not. And the second is to test on the lowest level where people will be living on a daily basis, such as your first floor family room or living room. The thought process behind this method is that radon dissipates as it travels up through your home, and the radon count will be less as it travels through the home. You should take note of these 2 different methods because you may feel strongly one way or the other where you want your test to be done. If the results of the test are at or higher than 4, it's recommended that you put in a radon mitigation system to remove the radon gas from the home. These systems and the installation typically are relatively inexpensive. In most cases, the reduction system can reduce radon levels up to 99%. Even very high levels of radon can be reduced to acceptable levels. Installing a radon mitigation system is not a good idea to do it by yourself. You know, you could mess it up and then you could have even more serious radon issues in the long term. It's best to get a qualified mitigation contractor, and you can either call your state EPA office for a list of qualified contractors, or you can ask your realtor who knows the names of contractors that they've worked with in the past. Oh, by the way, I'm Kathleen with the Militello Team, a realtor with Churchill Properties in Beverly, Massachusetts. I hope this answers all your questions about radon, but if not, drop me a note below and I'll get you an answer. Well, that's all for now, and I'll see you on the next one.